Good day, everyone. Welcome to anyone who has just joined. Please note we have muted your microphones for the duration of the webinar. Hi, everyone, and welcome to our 10th live mobility webinar. Today, our topic is relocating to Algeria, and I'll mention the sections we'll be going through in just a moment. My name is Nausheena Hoosain, and I have been a client account specialist at Relocation Africa since 2019. Prior to my role at Relocation Africa, I've worked at the world-famous Walt Disney World Animal Kingdom Resort in Orlando, Florida, which was a major learning curve and helped me set my sights on pursuing a career in client services. I then returned to South Africa, where I was a client consultant for Delta Airlines, and thereafter I spent the majority of my working years in the corporate travel industry until I joined Relocation Africa. This webinar is being recorded and a link to the replay will be shared with the registrants later this week. Today's topic will deal with housing, schooling, and settling in Algiers, Algeria. We'll cover topics including expat life, popular expat areas, average rental prices, leasing details, popular expat schools, and how utilities work. Algeria is a country in the Maghreb region of North Africa. The capital and most populous city is Algiers, located in the far north of the country on the Mediterranean coast. Algeria is the 10th largest country in the world and the largest by area in the African Union and the Arab world. The climates in this region, midday desert temperatures can be hot year-round. After sunset, however, the clear, dry air permits rapid loss of heat, and the nights are kind of cool to chilly. Enormous daily ranges in temperature are recorded. Accommodation. The majority of suitable expat housing is located within secure estates or compounds which are monitored by security guards or companies. Apartments are a popular form of expat housing. Schooling. There are 5 main international schools. 1 offers the American curriculum, 2 offer the British curriculum, and 2 offer French. Let's just have a look at healthcare. Public healthcare is provided free to all Algerians. Expats working in Algeria have access to free public healthcare via the social security system. The employer is responsible for registering the foreign staff, and monthly contributions will be paid by the company as well as deducted from the employee's salary. Private healthcare provision is steadily growing in Algeria, and standards are generally higher within the public domain. Due to the local staff shortages, private clinics are often staffed by foreign medical professionals. Expats are more likely to encounter doctors who can't speak English here. There is no existing private health insurance scheme within Algeria. Expats should arrange comprehensive health insurance before their arrival in the country, especially if working in remote areas. This should include local emergency care and possible repatriation to a country with better health facilities. Shops. The major shopping malls in Algiers are the Commercial Centre, Ardis Mall, Beneknoun Shopping Centre, City Centre, Ali Mela Market, African Bazaar Bir Khadim Alger, and just to add that almost all Western items can be found at these malls. Culture. The national identity of Algeria is based on a combination of Berber and Arab cultures. The strong influence of Islam in all aspects of Algerian life creates a sense of identity that extends beyond national boundaries to include other Arab nations. Greetings and hospitality. Greetings are lengthy and involved, including inquiries into health and family. Social interactions are much more common among members of the same gender than between men and women. Public displays of affection, such as touching, hand holding, between men and women are rare, but not between members of the same sex. Algerians are known for their hospitality and generosity. Visiting is a mainstay of social life, mostly within the circle of extended family. The host serves tea or coffee and sweets. The most common greeting is a handshake with a warm, welcoming smile. Money. The official currency for Algeria is the Algerian dinar. The dinar is divided into centime, so one dinar is equal to 100 centime. Banknotes are issued by the Central Bank of Algeria. Having a look at transportation. Driving is on the right-hand side of the road. Public transport is limited and not recommended. It is common practice and recommended for expats to employ a driver for security and time management reasons. Safety. Petty crime, petty theft, and pickpocketing do occur in Algeria. Muggings can also happen, especially after dark. So it is quite advisable to be street smart and cautious and aware at all times. The Same-Sex Marriage Prohibition Act that imposes a 14-year prison term for anyone entering a same-sex union was passed into law on the 13th of January 2014. It also sets 10-year prison sentences for those who run gay clubs or organizations. Bribery is still common throughout the country, from customs employees to police officials or military roadblocks. So the following are all popular expat areas. These are between 5 to 20 kilometers from the CBD area, the Central Business District. We're going to just take a look at a map of Algeria while reviewing these. So let me just scroll over to our map. So if we look at the Mekelle area, this area has nice properties, embassies, and foreign companies. Taking a look at the Hydra area, Hydra is the safest place in Algiers. Most of the expats reside in it, a residential area. It gathers most of the embassies and consulates. It has all the commodities needed for expats. It is about a 15-minute drive from the heart of Algiers center. Poisson, sorry about my pronunciation. This area has nice properties and some foreign embassies. Beit Anoun is a well-developed area full of commodities, malls, a hospital, universities, and private schools. Albier is a well-known for its high-end properties, hosting the US and Canadian embassies, medical facilities, malls, and many more. It is about a 5-minute drive from Bekanoun and Hydra and more or less 12 minutes from the city center. So, looking at our housing survey, we do carry out our biannual housing surveys in all our destination cities to keep up to date with current trends. Please. Okay, so our latest survey for Algiers reflects the table seen in the slide for both furnished and unfurnished properties. Please note rentals can be negotiated. For example, if we look at a 2-bedroom furnished apartment, these are between 200,000 TZD to 300,000 TZD, which is approximately about 1,500 to 2,300 US dollars per month. 1-bedroom apartments are very few and not particularly popular with expats. Most apartment complexes are 2 and 3-bedroom. 3-bedroom houses are common, while 4-bedroom houses and 5-bedroom houses are few and far between. Most houses come unfurnished with furnished options. It is not quite common to rent furniture in Algeria. Most expats prefer to buy from foreign furniture companies, which are expensive, or locals, which are good and less expensive. It is also possible to negotiate with the owner to include providing furniture at a slightly higher rental. Most expats find suitable properties quite easily. It all depends on budget, location, size, and personal preference. Most rental payments are required in advance for a full lease period. A frequent question Algerians always get asked is, what is the estimated market average times to get a rental property? Well, it depends on the property, on the parties involved in the lease negotiations and approvals for payments. It is not a lengthy process. Some can be as quick as perhaps a week to 10 days. Others can take longer, up to 6 weeks, for example. Depending on the client, if they have complicated vendor onboarding process or lease review process, this will increase the timelines even further. The current housing market. The market has remained stagnant for a long time, and there are a lot of construction and developments coming up. Let's have a look at leasing details and requirements in Algiers. Fees. The rental contract registration fee. This is fixed and the assignee or company pays. Agent or broker's fees. One rental month, rental payable by both landlord and tenant. The deposit, 1 to 2 months rental. Rental escalation amount, it's usually about 5%. The diplomatic clause or early lease termination. So diplomatic clauses are not standard but will be accepted by some landlords. Notarized leases are in the Arabic language and can be a corporate lease in the name of the employer or a personal lease in the name of the employee. VAT. Rent is not VATable. Landlords pay 19% VAT on service charges, legal fees, and agency fees. Utilities. Water consumption is usually included in the rent, but the electricity and diesel charges are usually separate. The internet service, depending on the landlord, may be included. For example, approximately utility charges on a 2-bedroom or 2-bathroom apartment will be between 4,000 and 6,000 dinar a month, depending on consumption. White goods. Yes, this is only when properties are furnished or partially furnished. Goods supplied, example, cookers, refrigerators, washer or drying machine, microwave, air conditioning. Property tax is payable annually by the landlord. This is just a reminder. If anyone has any questions based on what I have discussed up to this point, please do feel free to email them to marketing@relocationafrica.com. Looking at popular expat schools. Expat children generally attend private or international schools. Let's take a look at a map of Algeria while looking at these. So, popular expat areas to reside in are between 3 to 25 kilometers from the schools. The French schools are firstly Alexandre Dumas Liad, which is in Bekanoun, Petite École de Hydra, which is also in Ben Aknoun, and Le Glaçon, which is in Bezaria, Algiers. Sorry, my French is not up to standard, so sorry about that. Then, looking at the American school, this is called the Al Kalimat School in Bezaria. Then there's also the British school. This is an Arabic school in partnership with the British Council. This is in the region of, or called King Fahd International in Ben Aknoun. Gaining admissions to these schools will vary and some waitlists may be in place. Most school applications can be submitted online and there may be tests and interviews required. School fees will also vary depending on the year the child is to be enrolled for. Most school fees are to be paid in DZD, but the American Free schools will also accept payment in USD or Euros. On top of the basic school fees, expat parents will need to budget for extra expenses such as textbooks, school uniforms, and field trips. Most school years run from September to July. Utilities, so looking at electricity and gas. Sunal Gas Company of Algeria is the national provider of both gas and electricity. Sunal Gas is the provider of meters to all houses and apartments which the landlord manages through the facility management company. The duty of the tenant is just to make payment or deposit to the facility company and leave management to it. Water. The national company in Algeria is the SEEAL Company of Algeria. Tap water is considered drinkable, and Algeria enjoys a large variety of excellent mineral bottled water as well. Internet and telephone. There are a number of providers of phone and internet services in Algeria. The major telecoms providers are Algeria Telecom, Mobilis, Redu, and Tijezi. Setup only takes a few hours and internet connection speed varies on the package selected and can also vary dependent on the area where the property is located. Television. Most expats choose to subscribe to satellite dish suppliers which provide good international coverage, especially news and sports. Let's look at local registrations. No local registrations are required in Algeria. For security purposes and at the discretion of the expats, registration can be made at the home embassy. Registering for tax cannot be completed online. It has to be in person at the appropriate tax office. It can also be done at the bank when opening a bank account. Expats are not required to register for Social Security or a local equivalent. Bank accounts. Personal bank accounts can be opened in Algeria once a residence permit has been obtained. The usual requirements to open up an account are passport and work permit, passport photos, and a copy of a utility bill, which must cover at least 3 months. The employer can usually assist by providing the employees copies of their most recent 3 months electricity bill and a letter confirming that the employee is on their payroll. A visit to the bank is required for the account opening. All banks in Algeria are generally good with different product categories. Banks popular with expats are HSBC, Societe Generale, BNP Paris BAS, and the Algeria Gulf Bank. Looking at driving license or driver's license. As noted earlier, many expats will choose not to drive themselves as driving in Algiers can be a bit hair-raising, and it is possible to hire a car with a driver or hire a driver only if they decide to purchase a car. Many companies provide the expat employees with a car and driver, and in some cases even a security escort, while expats are allowed to drive. Most prefer to employ professionals to take on the Algiers traffic. Foreign nationals are allowed to drive in Algeria using the foreign licenses for 3 months and an international license for a period of up to 1 year, after which time they are required to obtain an Algerian driver's license. As we are now reaching the end of the webinar, I would like to invite you to email us any questions you may have about this topic to marketing@relocationafrica.com. I'm hoping we have covered a wide selection of information relating to relocating to Algeria and Algiers in particular. For some questions which may require further detailed information, I will be happy to refer the query to our local consultants, our experts on the ground in Algiers, who also assisted really greatly in making sure that all the information provided in this webinar is up to date and accurate. A very huge thank you to you, Nabil. Thank you again for joining us today. Within next week, a recording of this webinar will be uploaded to our YouTube channel, and you will receive a direct link to the recording. Please do feel free to share this with any of your colleagues who could not attend today. Likewise, if you can think of any colleagues who might enjoy this in the future, enjoy future webinars from us, please do let them know that they're welcome to request or sign up by emailing us via marketing@relocationafrica.com. I do wish you all a great remainder of the week, and please do keep safe during these uncertain and challenging times. Thank you.